yeah, the new spin on it was as a result of all the backlash that they got. They finally come out with something that is more plausible, because nobody believed that it was related to was a good way to fight the kind of crime that the country is experiencing. They just thought, because all along they were looking for all types of reasons to pass the blame for the violence and the crime in Barbados on. It was parenting, it was the gangs, it was everything except government's responsibility. So when some people say it didn't occur and some said it did occur, that the police went to them and said, hey, look, we really need this thing to be addressed, just as a standard policing safety and citizens safety perspective, when approaching for a simple traffic stop. There's a level of anxiety of a policeman approaching a car that they just stop and can't see who's in it. So that kind of makes sense, but they saw it as an opportunity to add that tint as another reason for why there's crime out there, and that's how they try to market it. That it was all crime, because I mean, everywhere you go, everybody heard the same thing, and that's why there was such a large cry out against it. It made no sense. So now that after the backlash, they're coming out and giving a plausible reason that they're saying that the police came to them. That's doubtful too, but nevertheless, I could see from a crime a law enforcement safety perspective why they would be concerned among lawmen about heavy tinted cars. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it was politics. That's all this government does. That's all this leader does, is approach governance with a lot of politics. How do I win the day? How do I win the
Mhm.
argument? And that's the core to her press conferences, to her many speeches. Is about winning something. Is about benefiting her and building that legacy. It's not about real governance in the interest of people.
Or really want to kill us inside there,
Yeah,
or it is that he has gone mad.
yeah. So
Huh?
can I ask though? I mean, I have not been hearing about the wiretapping and what was the other thing? The truth verification testing, as contemplated legislation. Have they started to legislate these bills, bring them and read them in Parliament, or she just talked
I
about it as something coming? Where
I
are they in terms of they being proclaimed? Anybody knows?
we yeah, I don't know, Mr. Bob. Is
Because
this being discussed right
because
now in
the
Parliament?
reason why I'm asking, remember, this government is one that just seems to think up issues that then um, dominates the public discourse.
We call it going
The-
on the fly, Adrian.
huh?
We call it in sport go on the fly.
Right.
You're going on the fly.
As a way of getting the people to change the narrative and to change people's focus. So I'm wondering if she just brought these two things up when currently there isn't any such legislation being read in Parliament or being brought to Parliament or even being discussed at the cabinet level, that she just brought it out of thin air so that people would go off about wiretapping, because there's a lot to discuss about wiretapping. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a police service commission's inquiry back in 2013, I believe, with regards to um, illegal wiretappings for over a decade. Y'all remember that,
Yes, yes.
right? Because so yeah, because I mean, I did mention that wiretapping may be a good thing in terms of fighting the current level of violence and crime we got in Barbados, but we must also be cognizant of it being in Barbados and how um, things that are intended for good use are then used for bad things. But this wiretapping thing has a bad rap in Barbados already. Again, the police service commissions, there was an inquiry. The evidence found that the Royal Barbados Police Force had been conducting illegal wiretaps for over
Don't
a
call any
decade.
names. Don't call any names. Just read it
That
without
is
the names.
public information. That's public information out there, right? You go and pull up Nation News and put in
And
illegal wiretapping, and it will
you're
come
reading.
right
Are
up.
you reading from Nation News? Let me.
Yes,
You're
Yes.
reading from Nation News right now. Can you send me the
Yes.
link and let me put it up before you read it? Send me the link, my brother. To know, can you take the lie detector test on that so that we can be at ease? Do you have any all of these questions? Can you write in the comment section all the questions you would like the PM to answer when she's taking this lie detector test tonight for me, guys?
Like she would ever answer. But yeah, so that's why I asked the question.
Mhm.
If these things are already in the pipeline in terms of becoming law, or if it's just another hot and sweaty rush to the microphone soundbite to create a talking point to distract Barbadians.
Right.
Because that's a reality, that's a possibility that these two things were just mentioned to get people all excited,
Mhm.
find something to talk. It's always something. There's a whole list because the economy is so bad, right? This government has no money other than what they has borrowed, right? And they must always find things to distract people
Right.
from that because governments are kicked out of office when the economy is not good.
Right.
And it may be that they need to keep that truth, if it is true, away from Barbadians by engaging Barbadians in a whole list of highly controversial talking points for the duration of their term.
That is.
So we don't know. We don't know. But this has been news. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there is
But
yeah.
I would like for you to read what is we got it up and and I knew he had it, but I just want to, because they watch the show, Adrian. So
Yeah.
my the people my legal people tell me, you Marcia, if it's in an article you can read it. Go ahead. You go ahead and read it, my brother.
You want me to read what's on
What's on the screen?
what
Yes.
they've just put up? Yeah, while Home Affairs Minister, who's this? Clement Rohi.
Or this. Okay, go
Speaking
ahead.
about
Yeah.
while Home Affairs, I think this is in Guyana when they were talking about that. I would prefer to read the Barbados Today.
Barbados Today. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Where
Arthur hits back.
they briefly mentioned the part that I was reading. That there have been. This is Barbados Today.
So let me just read this here, and then I guess he has them in order. Former Prime
Yeah.
Minister Owen Arthur has hit back as retired Commissioner of Police Darwin Dutton over the claims of wiretapping Barbados during their time of office. Arthur told the Daily Nation that despite denying his involvement in illegal wiretapping in the lead story, Dutton still suggested receiving authorization to do so from himself and other prime minister.
Whoa.
Okay. Listen, this is the same. Now they're coming to make it seem as though this is something, as you were saying, Apostle, something that is brand new. That here it is, according to the Nation News. I can't see the date on this Nation News because of how it is on the screen. But he's saying that he would have received from other ministers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right?
That's correct. That's correct. That's in the news.
It's
That's
dated
in the news.
February 12th, 2018.
February
Yeah.
12th, 2018. So, Dave, let's go to the Barbados Today. Thank you.
Right.
The other article, Barbados Today.
And-
Yes.
Yeah. It's Nation News as well too. Nation News still has it.
Yeah, Barbados Today has one from 2019.
2019. We like to tell you the truth on here. Go ahead, Dave. Can you go up a little bit? Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, we're not able to read it just as yet because it's flowing on there. Guys, I know we passed the calling in, but I think we need to spend some time on this. I think we need to spend some time on this. Okay, go. You want to read, Adrian?
Yeah, as Barbados looks for a solution to a wave of violent crimes sweeping the country to address this, I'll read it from because some
Read
of
it
the
from
words
yours
are cut
because we
off.
can't read it on what is up. I'm sorry.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, as Barbados looks for a solution to a wave of violent crimes sweeping the country One prominent criminal attorney does not believe introducing wiretapping legislation is the way to address the issue. In fact, Queen's Counsel Andrew Pilgrim believes police officers in Barbados do a good enough job investigating and therefore do not need to go to such lengths. Wiretapping is defined as the monitoring of telephones and internet conversations by a third party, often by covert means. It is widely used internationally in countries such as the US, Canada, and India. In Canadian law, police are allowed to wiretap without the authorization from a court when there is the risk of imminent harm, such as kidnapping or a bomb threat. In the first month of 2019, Barbados has already recorded 9 murders and over a dozen shootings. Most of these have been linked to the illegal drug trade and criminal turf conflicts. There has been reports that illegal wiretapping has been conducted in Barbados for more than a decade. An official probe conducted by the Police Service Commission has previously indicated that the practice has been carried out by the Royal Barbados Police. 2 officers of the special branch gave sworn affidavits that the PSC admitted to carrying out wiretappings under instructions. In an interview, Pilgrim told Barbados Today he saw no need for wiretapping legislation. I am convinced that phone tapping is the way forward as a way of detecting crime in Barbados. Generally, I am of the view that the police in Barbados do a fairly good job of making their arrests without phone tapping. There are so many other scientific methods of getting good evidence, he said. The veteran lawyer said the pros of wiretapping were far outweighed by the cons. Balancing the benefit of phone tapping for the prevention of crime against the serious risk of people's privacy is too great. I don't like the idea of people having to give up their privacy so that crime investigation can be improved. Crime investigation in Barbados is pretty good as it is, Pilgrim said. But another criminal lawyer had a different view on the matter. Mohaya Mahat told Barbados Today that with the recent upsurge in violent crimes, wiretapping would provide useful information once it was properly used. You want me to go further? I can go further.
So we could stop there once it was properly used, and so that is the challenge with a kind of government like we have. Is that what you're saying, Adrian?
Yes, with allegations that sometime in the past there may have been some wrongdoing, allegedly, right? And we know this in Barbados, that when people with authority, from the watchman up, that has the keys, when they have a little authority, they like to exercise it. Well, you give me a set of keys for some reason, or the security guard that has a gun. Well, I got a gun for some reason. They're always looking for a reason to use it. So I unfortunately cannot be convinced that professionalism and civility and the rule of law and the law would prevent persons from attempting to use these new technologies in a sinister manner, right? Or for personal gain. That is always a threat in Barbados. There are myriad of stories where authority has been misused for personal gain, and that's the fear that we have. Hopefully, that the law surrounding the use of these new tools, these new crime fighting tools, would be so stringent that it would make it extremely difficult for anybody to abuse them. But again, hard because we don't have any integrity legislation. We don't have any transparency in governance. No real whistleblowing. No way for the fourth estate to demand public documents, as a right of law. It's none of that. None of the guardrails that would protect or hinder someone from using these extremely aggressive tools in a illegal or unlawful manner.
Yeah, but I'm seeing documents today that said that leaders within the same government, that there are leaders within this present government that have abused. The document is alleging that the leaders of this same government that they have abused wiretapping, to wiretap people in the opposition, people in the government that they didn't like, and all of that. There is a document that is going around making those allegations, and actually, I tried to call somebody today because they didn't just have any document. They seem to have taken out of Mr. Bob, taken out a piece of an actual. You could see that is an actual document that they took something out of, and there's the allegation is that there are people within the same government that have been spying on the document. I can call the names that they said that they were spying on. Right? Let me read that, because I can that part I can do.
I have that same information too. Yeah, hey, it's common knowledge that well, it should be common knowledge, but it's out there that that these tools, which were designed to fight crime and to prevent terrorism and all that stuff, was actually used for political reasons.
Yeah.
You know?
And these are some of the where are the names? I want it because some people might not have gotten it. Why can't I find it? No, I think I had sent that to you too, Adrian.
Yeah, somebody else sent it to me too. Does it have the words "regrettably, the illegal wiretapping was strictly and solely for political purposes and was not used to fight against crime"?
Yes, and but read just the names of the people it was used.
It was revealed that among the Home's phones of those bugged were Prime Minister Owen Arthur, David Thompson.
So hold a minute. That must be why Arthur didn't know about it. Sorry. he didn't order it. He was being tapped. He was being wiretapped. Oh, Owen Arthur. Well, it's according to this document, Owen Arthur was wiretapped. Who else was wiretapped?
David Thompson, members of the Police Service Commission, a deputy commissioner of police, former, a magistrate or judge. I even see Sandra Mason's name on here, and Valton Ben, and even Kerry Simmons' name was on here. Hillary Beckles, Frondell Stewart.
all these names, people,
all these names were listed as allegedly being wiretapped.
They were being wiretapped. So you know, in another couple months, if they do, you're gonna see Marcia Weeks' name on there. You're gonna see Reverend Scanterbury. They probably can't do Adrian. They're gonna see Mr. Bob. They're gonna see all these names. Is that what we are coming to? Is that well? I already know. I'm totally convinced that they're not just into my phone, Adrian, but they're into my computer, Facebook. And told me people. I don't have, no personal Instagram, no personal Facebook. No,
there are walkie-talkies for $50 that will cover the entire length of Barbados. You give one to somebody down in St. Lucie and you on Christchurch, and you all can communicate on channels outside the scope of any wiretapping mechanism that they would have. So there are ways around it, and we can also go back to what the Angolans used to do against the French in Angola. Use radios. There's so many ways you can get around people who want to wiretap and stuff like that. But just to say that. But yes, there is that concern that the powers that be in Barbados, there's that tendency to use official tools for personal gain, and that is a legitimate fear and concern.
Ahead, no, Adrian. I hope you remember your point. We have 10 minutes.
Yeah. I was just reinforcing the point that Apostle made with regards to the process of containers leaving the port and going to the place of business and being opened in the presence of a customs officer. And I have seen that, right? No, the law is that the customs officer is supposed to do due diligence and ensure that, what's in the container is on the bill of lading, and et cetera, and that there's no illegal contraband, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that may or may not happen. It's really up to the customs officer to follow the law, right? And just being devil's advocate, you can't really blame a government if there is a customs officer who decides for whatever reason that they may not want to follow the law. or that they may be enticed not to follow the law.